Welcome to MoneyWise on 938 Live. Now, remember last week we were telling you about the possibility of buying low and selling high. Today we're going to tell you how you actually have or when you need to sell it. Of course, joining us this morning is Dennis Ng. He's the author of Mastering Your Personal Finances. Good morning, Dennis.
Good morning, Keith.
Dennis, now last week we were saying, it's possible to buy low and sell high. So when we buy low and it goes lower, how do you keep that? How do you avoid just holding on to that stock in the hope it's going to rise?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, according to my observation, most people they make a wrong decision in selling. For instance, just now as you mentioned, sometimes when the stock goes down, most people may just freeze. They don't know what to do. So probably most people will just do nothing and they will just keep holding the stock. And sometimes what happens, maybe the stock just keep going lower and lower and lower, and until from a very small loss of, let's say, 5 to 10%, in the end it becomes a very huge loss of 50% to even 90% of all your money.
So, Dennis, does it mean that the moment the stock goes down, get unloaded?
Not exactly. So actually, what I observe is that most people make the wrong selling decision. They either sell too early. For instance, some people, after they buy a stock and the stock price went up by 5%, and then they will sell. But in actual fact, this stock, if you continue to hold it, it may go up 100%, so they sell too early. The other decision they make wrongly is sell too late, which is, just now as we mentioned, the stock went down a bit. You should have cut loss because this stock is likely to continue going lower. So they sell too late. Most people either sell too early or sell too late.
So what's the reason actually these people actually bought this thing? Was it rumors, innuendo, or is it just a personal attachment to this particular stock that I spent so much on it, I am going to keep it no matter what?
It depends. So the average person out there, actually, they don't know anything about stocks. So most of the times, they will just buy stocks on rumors, on tips, by remisiers, by research analysts. And most of the times, you will end up that most of these tips actually don't make you money. So probably out of 5 tips, probably 2 tips makes you money, 3 make you losses. So at the end of the day, the best thing is to learn how to invest yourself, how to analyze companies and stocks yourself.
Okay, we touched on that last week again. So how do you do that? If according to you, that most of the advice out there seems to be erroneous, what do you do?
Yeah, so very simple. So today I'll share with you a few decisions, how I make my selling decision. So when do I decide to sell a stock? So firstly, I will decide to sell a stock if I discover that I make a mistake. So for instance, I bought this stock because I thought that this company is going to grow for the next few years. But the next financial result shows that it has failed in its expansion plans. So obviously, I was wrong in my projection that it will continue to do well. So when I discover that a mistake is made, I will sell. I will not wait. So the first decision when to decide how to sell is, if I discover I make a mistake, I will just sell.
So basically, you've got to train yourself to be calculative. Basically, you can have no emotion on this particular stock when it comes to making money.
In fact, if you want to invest wisely, it's best that you try to be emotionally detached as far as possible. Of course, it's impossible to have zero emotions, but importantly, you must try to stabilize your emotion. Make sure that when you decide to sell or buy, it's not because of excitement, it's not because of fear, it's not because of hope, but it's because of a rational analysis which comes to a rational decision.
So it comes down to the fact that when the going gets tough, you've got to take the tough action and know when to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a time when you actually should sell almost all stocks, regardless whether they are blue chip, red chip, or whatever chips. So that's when the entire market trend turns from an uptrend to a downtrend. And that is when, regardless of what stocks you really hold, you should actually just sell. For instance, in the 2008, during the global financial crisis, most stocks actually went down as much as 30% to as much as 90%. So whether you are blue chip or you are a penny stock, all these stocks actually fell during the global financial crisis. So actually, when you can see that there's a change in the trend from an uptrend to a downtrend, you should just sell without emotions. Just sell. Even if you are making losses, cut loss. because when you cut loss, at least you have limited your losses.
Dennis Ng, thank you so much for joining us this morning. That was Dennis Ng, author of Mastering Your Personal Finances, joining us as he always does every Monday on 938 Live on MoneyWise. Thanks for listening.